following interview is being conducted as part of the Price of Freedom Project by the Madison County Military Heritage Commission to inform our community of the sacrifices made by those on battlefields around the world. Each veteran interviewed received a Valor Award for their heroism during combat and is a member of the Military Heritage Hall of Heroes. We wish to thank the Huntsville School System and the ETV Broadcast Center for their help in presenting this Military Heritage program. Hello everyone, I'm Tom Kennemer. Welcome to our program. Today our guest is retired U.S. Army Warrant Officer James Jim White. Jim was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam who received the Distinguished Flying Cross for his heroism in the rescue of 2 downed Air Force pilots. He is also the recipient of the Air Medal with Valor for another heroic mission while serving in country. Warrant Officer White served 20 years in the Army and was an early inductee into the Madison County Hall of Heroes, being so honored in 1975. Jim, it's a pleasure to have you with us today, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being with us. Now, you're a West Virginia native. Tell us about your a little bit about your upbringing.
Well, I was born in a little town of Mount Hope, West Virginia. Of course, I didn't know that until somebody told me. and then I was traveled around a lot in the state, and I was born in my grandmother's house, not the hospital. So
I see.
So
Is that in coal mining country area?
Coal mining country, yes. It's in coal mining country, and I lived all the way up to I was about 17 in the coal mining country.
Yeah. So, do you have members of your family in the military?
Well, I had a sister who was in the Marine Corps for one tour.
I see.
And a brother the same way.
Have any family members in World War II or anything like that?
My father was in World War II.
I see. Okay. Was he in the Army?
He was in the Army Air Corps at that
Army
time.
Air Corps, okay.
There wasn't no Air Force then, so.
That's right. What, till 47, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Memory serves me correctly. Yeah. Now, you joined the Army when you were 17, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Did you finish high school or just leave a little earlier?
Well, there's some unique problems there. I had to support a family that I started at a real young life.
I see.
So the proper thing to do in them days was to get a job and do that. So I joined the Army at 17 because I couldn't go into coal mines at that early young. So I joined the Army at 17 and to do that. And
I think you told the recruiter you want to go in the Army, you want to jump out of a plane.
I did.
Tell us about that.
Well, I just told him I'd like to go to jump school, so I signed up to that. And right after you mentioned boot camp, I went to a boot camp and then advanced infantry training.
I see.
I went from Fort Jackson, South Carolina, up to Fort Dix, New Jersey, and then from there down to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where I went to jump school.
What was it like jumping out of that plane for the first time?
Well, the first time you're in such a high key and everything.
Stressed a little bit, yeah.
You're not scared or nothing. Now about the third jump, that's when you start getting a little bit. What am I doing up here doing this? So, but after about 25 or 30 jumps, it's just like another.
Yeah. Now, I know you're trained and you have to jump from a certain, like scaffolding or whatever, jump, practicing and training for that. But does somebody have to push you out of the plane that first time, or you do it on your own?
Just jumped on your own. 99% of the people I know jumped out on their own. So.
And what was it like that when you're out floating and, I hope this thing works and that sort of thing?
Well, it was kind of unique, and it was. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Once you get out of the airplane, it goes from a lot of noise inside the airplane to almost dead silence. Once the parachute opens and you're away from the aircraft.
Now, you stayed in 20 years, Jim. How many jumps did you make?
I had, military-wise, I had 79.
Yeah.
In sports parachute life, I added all that up. I had 258 jumps.
I said, were you ever injured?
I hurt my back one time, a little bit, my tailbone, actually, when I hit on a rock or something on the landing. But that's the only time I've ever been hurt.
Now, after all this training, after you jump training at Fort Campbell, I think you said, is that when you went to Germany?
No, I stayed at Fort Campbell now for 2.5 years.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah, jumping out of the airplane with the 101st.
Okay.
And so then when I re-enlisted at the end of that tour, I re-enlisted for Fort Ord, California, to go out to get some sunshine and see the state of California and everything. They let me stay there 6 months. Then they sent me to Germany.
All right, now you were over there during the Berlin crisis, during that time period. Explain about that and how that was serving in the country at that time.
Well, my unit got tasked to go to Berlin during the Berlin crisis when they were building the wall.
That's like in the early 60s we're talking, in that right?
61, I think it
61,
was.
Yes, sir.
I think it was, and I might be wrong, but
It is, yeah.
So anyway, my unit, we went up the Autobahn in 2.5-ton trucks, drawing trailers and everything with all of our stuff, and that was and that's the first time we'd been issued live ammunition to go on a mission, you know. So, and that's about every 100 miles, they'd make us all get out. The Russians would make us all get out of the truck and line up in single file along the Autobahn there, and they'd count us. And Lord, there be nobody missing. Anyway, so that was a mess. They could have killed us all right there, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
I think we always thought it was fun.
Did you ever have to pull guard duty, say at, I think one of the most famous gates was at Checkpoint Charlie?
I pulled guard duty at Checkpoint Charlie.
Did you? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we used to talk across to the enemy at Checkpoint Charlie. And I traded belts with one of them.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I got a leather belt, still got it to this day. He got an old canvas belt like the Army.
Yeah.
So, but he traded me just to do that, I guess.
Could they speak fluent English?
Oh, yeah, they speak pretty good English.
Yeah.
So,
How far do you have to stay apart when you're
well, in the guard, it was, I don't know.
10, 15 feet?
Yeah,
something
10 or
like that?
15 feet.
I see.
So,
Yeah. You always had to have your weapon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I see.
walk back and forward. And there was different places you stood guard, not just Checkpoint Charlie, but
I see. Yeah.
Checkpoint Charlie was one of the main ones.
Yeah. That was a difficult time for those people.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. Now you served. How long did you serve there? Was it 3 or 4 years?
No, in Berlin, I was there. We were there only about six, 7 months.
Oh, okay.
And then we went back to I think it was 6 or 7 months. Could have been a year, but we went back to Germany.
I see.
Went back to West Germany, I should
see.
say.
Right. I see.
With my unit, and then
Yeah.
so.
Now, when did you decide? Was it when you were in Germany, Jim, that you decided you wanted to be in aviation, a helicopter pilot? How did that come about?
Well, I went back to the United States. Went back to Fort Lewis, Washington. I was at the 4th Infantry Division there, and then I couldn't get promoted, so I went back to Fort Campbell. I wanted to go back to Fort Campbell and went back on jump status, and started jumping out of airplanes again. And I was laying in the field one night, and a helicopter went over, and I said, that guy gets to walk both ways, or gets to ride both ways,
Right.
I should say. Yeah. So I went and put in for helicopter school. I'd been in the Army already, I don't know, 7 years at that time.
Yeah.
But it took me almost 2 years to get into flight school. So.
Yeah. Who'd you get? Did you talk to your CO and you
Yes,
had to take a lot of tests and so
but
forth?
I had to take the RWAB test, I think they called it. Anyway, and then of course pass the flight physical. And then right before, once they accepted you, you went through all that time, then you had to take another flight physical.
I see.
And that's
Where did you go for your training, helicopter training?
started off between Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, a little called Mineral Wells.
I see.
And that's when I got my first helicopter training.
Okay. That facility as well as Fort Rucker, I think, were training the.
Yes, it was. They were
pilots
training
at that
lots
time.
of pilots. Yes.
I see. Yeah. Well, how was
Fort
it?
Walters, Texas.
Oh, okay.
That was.
How was it? Was it kind of like you envisioned? You thought it would be? I mean, flying a helicopter, and
Well, I don't know how I envisioned it. I rode in a helicopter a couple, 3 times in the back with the 101st,
Yeah.
and jumping out of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I envisioned it's pretty all right. It just wasn't as easy as I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
So.
You got the stick and
Collective and the cyclic and the
cycling,
pedals.
so forth. Yeah. How long was your training? Your helicopter training?
Well, back in there, we had a month of what they call pre-flight, which they try to teach you how to be an officer. And then that's when, after that, you started flight school. And it was about 8 months long.
I see.
And now they didn't make you a warrant officer until you got out of flight school. Nowadays, you get out of pre-flight, they make you a warrant officer, and then you finish the rest of your training.
What was the toughest thing, Jim, about flying a helicopter?
Hovering.
Hovering? I see.
Hovering. That's every pilot you ever seen will tell you that.
Yeah.
That's the first
Why
time.
is that so hard
I
to
have
say?
no idea.
Yeah.
It's just it all at once. It just clicks. And I mean, it's not something you gradually improve. You wander all over the field and and do everything like that. And then all at once you stop and do it, and then from that point on, you're pretty cool.
Well, different helicopters would be different. You'd go through different phases, I guess, of hovering. Some of them would be harder to hover, and others. Would it be that case?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess originally, though, the helicopter we flew for training was harder because you actually had to make the throttle adjustments in that. And the Hueys and everything, they make their own throttle adjustments. So you didn't have to, when you pulled up and down on the collective, you didn't have to worry about adding or taking off gas, like a gas pedal.
Now, did you go directly to Vietnam out of your helicopter training?
I sure did.
Wow, okay.
Vietnam right after house. Most of them did.
Yeah.
Especially back in them days.
What was your first impression when you got to Vietnam?
I don't know. It was the smell just got you. You know, it wasn't a really bad smell, but it was just different.
Yeah.
Ocean and all that stuff, and so.
Where did you go? Where were you stationed first?
Chulai.
All right.
Chulai, up in I Corps.
And this was 67?
67, 68.
Yeah.
I went there in September of 67 to September of 68.
How long was it before you started flying combat missions?
2 days.
2 days.
You flew combat missions almost. The first missions you went on was combat missions.
Started out real quick.
But you wasn't the main guy in charge. You was a Peter pilot, we called him.
Yeah.
And, or the co-pilot.
I see.
We always, the acronym for him was Peter pilot. And then the aircraft commander. Yeah. So it takes you about.
Oh, Jim, what usually was it like 6? You're flying the Huey, 6 Hueys at a time, or in a group? How many usually went out on a mission?
On a combat lift mission, anywhere between 6 and 36 or more.
I see.
But where we flew it most every day, it was you by yourself. Most every day.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You had 2 aircraft, 2 Hueys that went out for the unit. One of them flew the combat control, and you flew the colonel in charge. The other one went, we called it ash and trash. Yeah. You got to fly a lot then. Everybody liked that one because you went out of the woods, got to chow in and the ammo and all that stuff taken up to the troops.
Ate good for a day or so.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Jim, tell us about the combat action that led to you receiving the Distinguished Flying Cross, and that was, of course, in 1967.
It was December the 10th, 1967. My crew and myself were coming out of the AO, coming out of actually west. We'd been over into Laos, which we weren't supposed to be, but anyway, we was coming back to unit, and we had a Vietnamese gal on board, tied up and tied to the floor so she wouldn't jump out or cause any problem. She was a high-powered POW. We were taking her back to the rear for them to interrogate.
Sure.
Then we had one poor little old lone soldier that was going home. It was his last ride to going home before he got to country. And then as we were progressing on that unit, my crew chief hollered, "Hey, sir, they got a jet burned down." Looked out the window, and there goes an F-4 going down in flames.
Going down?
Going down in flames, yes.
Wow.
Now, we didn't know it was the F-4, but it ended up being the F-4, but it was a jet going down in flames, and all at once you seen 2 parachutes. And that was...
How far was it from where you were at when you first saw it?
I don't know, but we were flying probably 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet going back home. And we saw them going, as they was going down, and I started going down the same way they were. I tried to... The closer I got, the lower I got to the ground, and we must have got there maybe 10, 15 seconds after they hit the ground. So that's how close it was. Then we went in there, and the crew chief, and of course we was getting shot at all the time down there. And crew chief and the door gunner, they got out to go get them. Glenn Nordine, which was a pilot in charge of that F-4, he was in the river, and we landed on a sandbar right on the riverbank, and the other pilot was over to the right, and he was on the sandbar. So the crew chief went after one, and the door gunner got after the other because they wouldn't move. I wish they had just came on their own. So they went after him and picked them.
Why didn't they?
Well, we were getting shot at. They were getting shot at,
yeah,
and I guess they were afraid to get up.
I see.
And so the guy in the river had to be cut out of his parachute, Glenn Nordine, and Art Gross cut him out, and he got in the helicraft, and then Glenn Nordine come in the helicopter out of the river, and he crawled up in the helicopter all the way up in between my seats where the radio console was and everything, and he looked up and he had a pair of sunglasses on and one of the lenses were missing. He didn't know it. He didn't know it. And of course Bob Riddick would come in, and we were getting the heck shot out of us around that area, and then so we just, one of the crew chiefs got in. Here's another bad story, but one of the crew chiefs got in, and the other one said, "Let's go," and I pulled pitch, and the other one fell off. So I had to stop and go back a little bit, and he got in, and we booked out, and of course everybody's scared, a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
And
how long did all this take, Jim?
I would imagine maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Couldn't have been too long.
Yeah.
It could have been longer or shorter. I don't know. I just never thought of it that way.
Was your helicopter,
That 2 or 3,
shot up to?
yeah, 2 or 3
Okay.
hits. I think they were trying to shoot at the pilots. The Air Force pilots had been, and I was jumping around on the stand bar just to try to give them a little bit less target.
Right.
And then.
Yeah. But the engine wasn't hit or anything.
No. I had no problem with the aircraft.
Or windshield or whatever.
No.
Good. And so he lifted up and had no problem.
Nope. Just went straight out and went right towards where we were getting ground fires. So they ducked their heads. And
neither one of them were injured at that or wounded or.
I have, I don't know. They might have had some scratches, but they weren't.
No bullet wounds.
No bullet wounds or nothing like that. So.
Do you stay in touch, or have you through the years tried to stay in touch with those you rescued?
I talk to them every December the 10th.
Really?
Every December 10th. They haven't missed a one yet. They both call me.
Did they go back in service? After
they stayed in service and retired.
I see. Yeah.
But they call me every December the 10th, which is the year, and thank me. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So.
So. Were you ever wounded yourself?
No, I wasn't.
I see.
Had a guy wounded beside me. A couple of infantry guys killed in the back, but I never was wounded. I was a lucky man.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this: how do you handle the stress of combat like this? Somebody shooting at you, and you're trying to survive and so forth. I like to ask all the veterans that question. How do you handle stress in combat?
Well, I never thought of it as stress. You just do what you have to do. I mean, and you stay in the realm of what you can do, and try not to get outside of that.
Yeah.
Because when you get outside of your capabilities, that's when you get hurt. But I'm not saying you don't go down. I'm talking about capabilities of flying the aircraft. You always go into places that you get shot at every day. Lots more places I went into and did things were actually probably more dangerous than that mission.
Now, you received a Valor Award for another mission later on that year. Tell us about that.
There's Air Merrill with V. My maintenance officer put me in for that. We went out to recover an aircraft that got shot down. And so we was taking a crew out there, and on the way in, we got the heck shot out of us. And we dropped the crew off to rig the airplane so that the Chinook could come in and haul it out. And so we went back airborne and flew around the area about 1,500 feet and to see what they were doing down there to make sure and give them a little support from the air.
Right.
And then they said when they got through, we went back in and pick up the crew, and that's when this lieutenant colonel thought I should get the Air Medal for wait. I come in there and did that.
How many combat missions did you fly, Jim?
Okay, I have 38 Air Medals, and one for the V, and one for the V.
Valor,
Other ones were for missions.
Right.
When I first went there, they were started counting missions, and if they had counted missions, we'd have got 20 missions a day.
Wow.
So how many Air Medals would you think that'd add up at the end of a year? So they started counting time. 25 hours of combat assault time was equal to one mission. So you can divide 25 and times 38, and that's how many hours I got in combat assault.
Go ahead. It would have added up had it been.
Oh, it would have been a lot more.
Yeah. Jim, you served 2 tours in Vietnam, and I think it was 1970 you went back for another tour.
I did.
Now, you flew a different type aircraft on your second tour. Tell us about how that came about.
I was stationed at Fort Eustis, Virginia, And I got a packet, asked me if I'd like to go to fixed wing school. And lots of guys have been putting in for that for a long time, and got it. And I answered back, sure, I'd like to go.
Sure.
And I got some orders from DA that I was going to fixed wing school, and it was from Army Security Agency. So.
Now, fixed wing, of course, is
Airplanes.
what we call just a regular airplane. So what type of fixed wing did you fly?
I flew a twin-engine airplane called the RU-8D. It's a reciprocating airplane. It was old air. We had antennas all over it and everything where we went out in the AO and listened to the enemy's Morse code.
I see.
And we were able to pinpoint him if we got a lot of shots at him.
Okay.
And we had a lot of action out there by that.
How many is aboard that plane? I mean, you, the pilot, and so how many?
Three.
Three, I see.
2 pilots and the guy in the back, the radio operator.
I see, yeah.
He's back there whining a wheel to listen for signals.
Now, based out of Saigon or other parts of Vietnam?
Based out, when I first went there, I was based out of Nha Trang.
Uh-huh. Is that up in the northern
No,
part?
no, that was in the middle part.
Middle part, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then after about 6 months, they moved everybody down to Cameron. We went down to Cameron Bay, and then I flew out of there for another 6 months, same unit.
Do you ever have any close calls with flying, you know, like anybody shooting at you that you
Got
know
one
of?
bullet hole in a whole year.
Really?
Lots safer than flying helicopters. Lots safer than flying helicopters.
Yeah.
So now we had somebody shot down in our unit with a missile now.
Yeah.
SAM missile. So
Yeah.
so it wasn't exactly 100% safe, but as far as getting shot down with small arms fire, it was
Yeah.
a lot less because you're flying up there at 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
You know.
I always like to ask our veterans about, we'll go back to your first tour, you know, in '67. What could you do? Did you have, were you pleased with the chow? Would you sleep on the ground? Did you sleep in barracks or tents? Or what?
In Vietnam, in Vietnam, we slept in actually huts built up with tin and plywood and everything, nice places. Slept on cots.
Yeah.
For the poor old infantrymen, the grunts as we called them, they had to sleep on the ground.
Exactly.
And foxholes were muddy and all that stuff. I always said that's a whole lot better living conditions than they had. So that's it.
Goes back to you remember when you saw the helicopter fly over.
Oh, absolutely. I can do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about the chow? A pretty good chow?
Well, the Army chow, it was all right. I'm not going to say it was terrible.
Right.
But my first time over when I was flying helicopter was in Chulai. We stayed at a Marine place. Had a Navy mess hall. Man, that was high hog.
Yeah.
You know, and then the Marines moved out and they took the mess hall with them. We got Army chow from that point on. So
That's pretty kind of shock.
yeah, it was a shock, man.
Yeah. Now, when you got some free time, however little that was in Vietnam, what could you do? They put up a sheet or something. You watch a movie or something, or
Well, they did have some. Let's have some. Actually, shows. You know.
Yeah.
People come in and perform, young ladies dancing and carrying on, and then of course they had R&Rs. You could go on a week R&R, and you go to one of the big cities in Vietnam and lay on the beach.
Yeah.
Lay on the beach, and I never did that. I went to Hawaii once, and I went to Japan once to see my brother.
Usually that's for like 5 days, is that right? Or how long was it R&R?
Say about 7 days.
7
a week.
days, okay, yeah, I'll give you a week.
Yes, a week.
Now, what about, did they have any of the, like Bob Hope or any of the Hollywood stars?
I seen Bob Hope and Raquel Welch. Yes, I did. Right there at Chulai.
Where was that, what part?
Chulai.
Chulai,
First
I bet he had a crowd.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The poor old helicopters up there guarding and everything, they don't get to see nothing, see that?
Yeah. Now, that was in '67.
67.
67, you saw it.
Oh, it might have been 68 that happened, but
I see.
Yeah.
In that time frame, yeah.
yeah.
No cell phones, of course, back then. Did you get a chance to, ham operators? Could you talk to your family back home or anything like
Well, they did have some telephone operators, but you'd have to wait in line and everything and say over after you got through talking.
that? Right.
This is Jim White. How you doing, honey? Over.
Yeah, I always do the over.
Yeah, you had to do that, or a guy to come in there and tell you.
That's right.
Anyway, but we used to sneak in a helicopter and go at night and go up about 10,000 and get I guess it was ham operators and talk back. We weren't supposed to do that, but we did. So
Well, you did it, so
Yeah.
if some colonel is listening now.
Yeah, that's too long ago. That's
Too long ago.
The statute of limitations has run out.
Already run out. Yes, sir. I understand. Jim, have you ever been back to Vietnam since that time, or do you? If not, do you have the desire to go back?
At first, I didn't have the desire to go back because when I come out of Vietnam, I just didn't feel good about them people. And as I got older and met some of them, met people, yeah, I might go back. A lot of my friends have went back. So there in the, what's his name? He handles trips going back over to Vietnam. One of our guys in the helicopter.
I see, yeah. Now, you left Vietnam after your second tour. What did you do after that? Where did you go and where were you stationed?
Second tour, I came back went back to college.
Okay. Oh, it's Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got to get this in mind. Now, second
Right,
tour,
sure.
I knew I was going to college 2 months after I got in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd put in for that, put in
Right.
for college. And so I went to Omaha, Nebraska, and stayed there almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them schools are a year.
Mm-hmm.
This was called degree completion. It wasn't called bootstrap.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a 2-year program.
Mm-hmm.
So, but during the time back, I had did some night college work at William and Mary when I was at Fort Eustis, and Fort Rucker. You do certain things, get some college classes.
Yeah, yeah. Everywhere you're stationed, I noticed on your bio that you had gone to college some,
Yes.
Took advantage of that.
Yes, and so that's the reason I got to go to the
I see.
degree completions, because I had 2 years. Heck, I think they give you a year just for being you.
Yeah.
So,
So when did you come to, or were you stationed at Redstone Arsenal?
I came back to, let me think here now. I came out of Vietnam and went to college.
I see.
And then college, I got orders for Redstone.
I see.
I called, they hadn't sent me any orders. It was about 2 months before I graduated. So I called them up, and they said, okay. And then they sent me these orders to Redstone. And I didn't know what Redstone was.
You'd never heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Right.
I said, my goodness, they're going to pay me back now. Going to Alabama, in Redstone Arsenal, Alabama.
Yeah.
And man, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I got a letter from my sponsor explaining how many airplanes they had and how many helicopters they had. Man, that's really lucky coming back to Redstone.
Now, were you? I know you were a test pilot. Were you an instructor too, or what?
I was
what was your
instructor,
duties?
yes. I was at IP in airplanes and test pilot.
I see. And you had to fly like.
And some of this come after I got out of the Army now.
I see. Yeah.
And become a civil servant.
Right.
I retired in 1977.
Yeah.
And then come back here in 1980.
I see. Yeah, you'd worked down in Florida, I think.
Yes, I had. I'd worked for Embry-Riddle for a while.
Uh-huh.
And that's an aeronautics university, usually it is. And then I flew a helicopter up in Virginia for a coal company for a while. Mm-hmm. And didn't particularly care for that.
But you always remembered Redstone Arsenal in Alabama and wanted to get back.
Well, they called me up one time and asked me if I'd like to. I'd already come back to Fort Rucker.
Uh-huh.
So I went to Fort Rucker as an instructor after I had all these civilian jobs. Went back to Fort Rucker, was an instructor in instruments and helicopters for, I don't know, a good while. And then somebody called me and asked me if I'd like to have a job at Redstone. I said, of course.
Yeah.
So I
stayed there until
2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I left and we come back to Redstone.
And you stayed there
20 years.
20 years. Wow.
I retired in 2000.
I see. Yeah. Jim, do you stay in contact with a lot of people that you served with? During your 20 years.
I don't know what you mean.
You mentioned earlier the downed
that's right.
pilots, but other guys that you served with.
Yes, I do. I stay in contact with probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 that I actually flew with.
Uh-huh.
Not just knew in flight school. Mm-hmm. Some I would do at flight school and flew with.
Right, yeah.
And so we always keep in contact.
And you're one of the founding members of the Helicopter Pilots Association here in North Alabama, right?
Yes, I was. North Alabama Helicopter Pilots Association, or Vietnam Helicopter Pilots Association. Right. Yeah, I was the original founder, and me and about 4 other guys kind of scored it up, and I was the original president.
Mm-hmm. What did you all just get together and say, hey, why don't we form? How did it develop?
They had these chapters of the Vietnam Helicopter Pilots Association all over the country, so we want to start a chapter here.
Mm-hmm.
they had a chapter in South Alabama, down around Fort Rucker. It didn't go very well, but once they got this one going, it went rather well. So it's still going good, rather well. So.
Now you're still a member, right?
Yes, I am. And,
now a lot of the guys in there that you did serve with, or from
yes.
time to time, or whatever.
Yes, I
knew them.
Absolutely. I flew with several of them out here on the Arsenal during my 20 years of there.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But that's been an enjoyment for you, right?
It's been a marvelous enjoyment.
Yeah. Now I think you're also involved with the Kiwanis Club.
I was a member of the Kiwanis Club and served as president, secretary, vice president, all them positions.
I see. Yeah. Let's go back just a little bit, Jim. Most veterans have mixed feelings about serving during wartime. What is your favorite memory from serving in Vietnam and in the Army? Let's go back just a little bit. Tell us a little about that. What would that be your favorite time period or whatever?
I guess it was the camaraderie, like I said, in Vietnam especially, because you had many friends and everything.
Right.
And, well, we always had an acronym: you eat, drink, sleep, and fly.
Yeah. Not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily in that order, right?
I understand. Now, and of course, that camaraderie is carried on with the Helicopter Pilots Association.
Yes, it has.
I know you enjoy being with those guys. Jim, there were protests during the Vietnam War when you served, especially in the late 60s and that time frame. Did you ever encounter any of those protests? And if you did, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel awful, but I saw some of it, but I never was accosted myself.
I see.
So I'm glad I wasn't, because I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
So,
You ever wonder, would you do it all over again?
oh, mercy, yes.
Yeah.
I wish I was capable of doing that right today.
I see.
Absolutely, yes.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you, when young people ask you, or someone maybe listening right now, watching this tape, they're considering a career in the military, what advice would you give young people to maybe considering that avenue of occupation?
Well, it's not for everybody, but I'm telling you, it's a good start for most people. And if you go one tour and decide you wasn't going to go out, you just get out. And then you don't know what you'll get out. Not only that, you probably get a college education coming out. If you're, I think it'd be a great career, at least a career starter, and a great career for some.
And it has benefits, helps about college and
absolutely,
building a home and so forth. Yeah.
Yes.
But good point. It's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
Give it a try, I guess, maybe for a couple of years or 3 years.
Well, you join up one tour. It wasn't my days, was 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years it is now. Plus, they give you a lot of money now to enlist. And so you stayed 3 years. If you didn't like it, just get out,
Tell us about your family. You and your wife, Teresa, have been married, what's it, 48 years now?
48 years this July.
Yeah.
And so
and tell us
got
about
2 kids, and
okay.
they both live here in town.
I see. And what do they?
One drives for UPS, and the other one drives for another company.
Okay. Either one of them involved with the military in any way?
My oldest son, JC, he was in the military for a while, for about a tour. He's in the Guard.
I see.
So for a while, and he went to basic training between his junior and senior in high school.
I see. Yeah. So. And you, the grandkids, you have to go to a lot of ball games and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm not going to too many of them. They're not playing too many ball games. I go to basketball games now. My oldest grandson. But,
yeah.
So.
Well, it'll come. As they grow older, you'll have to participate in that more.
Yeah.
Where's Grandpa? He's supposed to be here that day. That sort of thing. Yeah. Jim, you were inducted into the Huntsville-Madison County Military Hall of Heroes in 1975. One of the early members. Tell us about that induction. What it meant to you and your service to your country.
It was wonderful. Some of my friends here in town that tell me would I like to be a member. I said, of course, if you're going to have that. And so that was a deal. Somebody formed it in 1975, and we were all inducted. I don't know how many there was. It could have been 20, but I'd have to go back and look at the records, and that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, and it's all in the courthouse, right?
Yes,
everything was taken care of in the
everything
courthouse
was in the courthouse. Didn't have no special dinners, no nothing. You just come down there and they induct you to the Hall of Fame, put you medals in the courthouse up in that glass chains.
Where they're still at
Where
today.
they're still at today.
Right.
They redid it one time before.
Right.
And made it better. And I think they're thinking about moving it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what are you doing now? Are you still like with the Kiwanis? And of course you mentioned the helicopter pilots.
I had to get out of Kiwanis for a while. I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm still helping on our helicopter as much as I can, and going to the meetings and all that stuff, doing all that stuff.
Do you do any flying at all, Jim?
I flew a Huey last year.
Did you? Yeah.
Maybe it'd been 2 years ago. My wife will tell me when it was. Well, anyway, they got a bunch of them flying now, and so I got to fly the Huey, and that's the second time I got to fly one, and actually got to fly the Huey when I was 80 years old. So,
now there's a Huey is, I don't know what, they're like a Huey A, B, C or whatever, there's different revisions or whatever. One at the Veterans Museum here in town. No, is that, I think it's still there, right?
Yes, I think they got an H model out there. They might have a D model, which were they call troops.
I see.
And the one we refurbished is a Charlie model, Mike model. It's a gunship.
That's one you usually bring to the ceremony down at the Veterans
Yes,
Memorial
it is.
on occasions.
And that's a gunship. Yes.
Yeah. It looks like it's ready to fly.
Well, if you get in it and sit down, if you was a pilot, you'd think it was ready to fly.
I think you either told me or one of the other members that that helicopter was in Vietnam. It served in Vietnam.
Yes, it actually was in Vietnam and got shot up a couple times.
Yeah.
So,
Did you when you were in Vietnam? Did you fly the helicopter, the same helicopter all the time, basically, unless you were out for service?
Basically, we tried to get one. One was assigned to you once you became an aircraft commander.
I see. Yeah.
And then you tried to fly that one, but if it didn't go into maintenance, that didn't mean you was going to sit around on your hind end. You're going to fly some other helicopter.
Right.
People go on leave and on R&R. Let's put it that way. So,
Jim, I just want to tell you, it's been a pleasure talking with you today, sir. I really appreciate it. It's been very informative, and all you guys that we have had the opportunity to talk with from the Vietnam Helicopter Pilots Association, always gave good interviews,
I don't know.
Of course. Now, let me ask you this. I always try to ask some of the other guys, were you the better pilot, among this group?
Absolutely.
Why do I always get the same answer? But thank you.
When I was teaching in Fort Rucker, I'm going to add this one note.
Yeah, sure.
Poor old guy graduated last in class, right?
Uh-huh.
I said, they don't put that on the back of your wings. You graduated last in class.
They don't do that.
And you don't have to tell nobody you graduated last in class.
Not mandatory.
10 years from now, you can tell them you graduated first in your class, and nobody know the difference.
Know the difference, would they?
That's what I always taught them.
Jim, thank you again for participating in our oral history interview series and allowing us to preserve your military experience for the people of this community. And thank you, sir, for your service to your country.
Thank you for
Appreciate it very
having
much.
me.
Thank
Appreciate
you for
it.
being with us. Now, if you'd like more information regarding this interview or any interview in our Military Heritage Series, please contact the Madison County Military Heritage Commission website at mcmhc.us. I'm Tom Kennemer. Thank you for being with us.